you inside of Loving Good Arena on the campus of McEachern High School. Joe Hilsman, Sylvester Williams, and Barry Browner. Glad that you are with us. It is Miller Grove, it is Norcross, Georgia's Elite Eight tip-off classic. We're underway. Norcross in the gray. Kyle Stirdivant gets it started. A three ball is good. Alonzo Johnson, Kyle Stirdivant, Joseph Toppin, Brandon Boston, and Dalvin White, the starting five for the Norcross Blue Devils. Timothy Stargell, Maurice Harvey, Jermon Clark, Kevin Page, and Lorenzo Anderson, the starting five for the Miller Grove Wolverines in purple. Driving, Clark, shot no, rebound, tip, and out of bounds. Sylvester, Barry, I guess this is one of the headlining matchups. Of course, Miller Grove, known for their state championships, although they lost in the semifinals last year in 5A to Cedar Shoals, the eventual 5A runner-up. And this Norcross team, the 7A runner-up.
No doubt about it. I think that Norcross is in for a big year, and also Miller Grove. Miller Grove's got a couple of big guys returning, and they add Timothy Stargell at the point guard.
Stargell coming over from Shiloh. He missed that shot there across the lane, and here come the Blue Devils back this way. There's Brandon Boston. Boston lost it, and now here comes Miller Grove with Page. Over to Stargell. There's a long three. It is good.
Lorenzo Anderson knocks down that three from long range out there. Boston, he's a kid I've been hearing about all summer. I'm really anxious to see him play.
Boston can play. He looks different from when I've seen him last. He has grown the hairstyle out just a little bit. Former Holy Spirit prep. That's where he started cutting his teeth at.
I think one of the guys you want to watch is also Joseph Toppin, too. He also had a big-time summer, kind of being recruited by a lot of big-time schools. So watch him for this game as well.
Stirdivant at the line. Yeah, JoJo Toppin. Very, very dynamic ball player.
Stirdivant, that name sounds familiar for some of those people out there. Stirdivant.
Makes the first free throw. He has 4 quick points.
Stirdivant, as a sophomore last year, was a big-time contributor on that Norcross runner-up team.
Free throw, no good. Out of bounds off of Miller Grove. Joseph Toppin will get it. There's an inbound. Dalvin White in a corner, a three. No, tip, Boston good. Brandon Boston offensive glass. So a 6-3 advantage right now for Miller Grove. A jumper off by Anderson. Tip, fight for the rebound. Dalvin White came away. Out of bounds. Dalvin White, 4-year player now, a senior for this Norcross bunch. And just a very savvy guard.
It's funny you say 4-year player because it seems like I've been calling his name forever. Like he's been around forever for this Norcross team.
I mean, I was about to say check his eligibility, but he has been doing it. I remember as a freshman, and he came off that bench, and he just continued to be there. And do not leave him in those corners.
Oh, no.
He's definitely a steady player for Coach Jesse McMillan. He does a good job as far as running the team and getting guys involved.
Jesse McMillan, the head coach of the Norcross Blue Devils, and Rasul Chester, the head coach of the Miller Grove Wolverines, his second year taking over for the legend of Charlton White. A drive by Timothy Stargell, his first field goal.
Young player, saw him last year at Shiloh a lot. He's a good guy. Toppin.
Three.
And I think that's new in Toppin's arsenal. I remember last year, I don't think he could shoot that one last year.
Up, under, left hand, no good. Tip, rebound, ball hit the floor. Page recovers it. Now he spins it back out. Here's Maurice Harvey. Harvey between the rings now, trailing 9-5 Miller Grove. Miller Grove in the purple, Norcross in the gray, and a foul called on the floor.
Both teams are basically attacking the basket a lot. I think that both teams can rebound the ball well. And the bigs, I think they're doing a good job so far. It's early, but this should be an interesting battle in the post.
Oh, yeah.
2.5 minutes gone by. Try to feed it in, and he holds it. Looking is Clark. Clark puts it on the floor. Spins, tried to get the offensive foul charge called, but then a defensive foul committed by the Blue Devils.
One thing what I love about summer ball, it's a couple of reasons to hate summer ball and love summer ball too. But I look at someone like JoJo Toppin. JoJo last year was a real skinny guy, and he came off the bench for this Norcross team. But now you can tell this summer he worked hard on his game, he worked hard on his body, and he's going to be a star for this Norcross team, man. I like the upside for this Toppin kid.
Probably one of the most athletic guys, man, around the state. Very bouncy, very athletic, and it's added a jump shot this summer as well.
Came over from Meadow Creek. Boston tried to defend and stop going up. Tip, and Kyle Stirdivant is going to come away with it. And the passing lane was shot by Anderson. White is going to recover it. Crossing goes into the corner to Boston. Boston pass was stolen away by Anderson. They've been sloppy with the basketball. Anderson alley, another layup with Maurice Harvey, his first field goal. 9-7 now, 4:35 to go. Joel Hilsman, Sylvester Williams, Barry Browner. That was a backcourt.
Yeah, he called it.
Early season just.
No, that's just lazy bad basketball right there. And that's what Coach Jesse Mack looking at. He's looking at, and you're the veteran. You're the veteran, and you did that. So Anderson will take, Alonzo Johnson will take a seat, 5'11". Passing lane was shot. Ball is on the ground. White going to come away with the steal. He's going to push it out to Boston. Boston goes up, and he was fouled. Boston back up. And we'll be going to the free throw line. Reaches down to tie his shoes up. I thought he may have tweaked something or turned something just a moment.
You can tell when these guys are young, they can fall, hit the ground, and bounce back up like nothing even happened, man. If I fall, I hit that ground, I'm down for a whole week. I'm not going anywhere. Sitting on the couch.
Boston free throw is good.
Totally relaxing for the whole week once I hit the ground.
I noticed that Alonzo Johnson was replaced by Kevon Estridge, who came over from Columbia last year. He's a sophomore this year. Had a big year as a freshman at Columbia. As another ball handler and shooter to the backcourt for Coach Mack.
Barry, you couldn't have said it no better way, man. That S word, shooter. He can stroke that thing. Driving, now kick it back out. There's a long three. Johnson, no good. Rebound comes off. That's Harvey on the three-ball miss. My bad. Page, shot up, no. Rebound comes down to Brandon Boston. Here comes White. White in transition with the left-hand dribble. White gonna go flying out of control to the hoop. No. Page gets the rebound and gives it over to Harvey. Miller Grove trailing 10-7. Here comes Harvey. Maurice holds it, goes around the screen. Nothing there. Stops, pulls a long three-ball. Hill of the rim, no good. Loose ball foul called on Miller Grove.
Yep. Yeah, he got both hands in his back. Page was going for the rebound, and he put both hands in the guy's back. If you're going to push, just give him an elbow shove. Don't do both hands.
Norcross 26-6 a season ago, the 7A runner-ups. And they had a big win at Pebblebrook in the playoffs where they used that size, even though they lost Lance Thomas and Rashad Hammonds. They used that size to go in there and win with Jarrett Jones there, and he was out in that game, which really, if you take away Pebblebrook's size last year, you're going to have them, and that's what happened. Call is reversed. It will stay with Norcross after the ball, the beautiful Nike Hyperlight balls, went about 3-4 rows back up into the stands.
Pebblebrook, one of the most exciting teams from the state of Georgia last year, but one of the most exciting players in the nation.
And they're going to be good this year, like Dwight Murray, hopping, turning with the left hand. No rebound, skied for and brought down by Shomik, that's 11. Okay, 11 into the contest. Did not hear him on the sub and a float, and he gets it in the fall. Shahan.
Notice that Miller Grove's continuing to push the ball down the court. Just really trying to run and making Norcross get out of what they're trying to do.
2:42 to go. Eskridge, a three ball. Hill of the rim, no. Clark, rebound, outlets to Harvey. Harvey bounces it up ahead. Here's Anderson. Anderson going to drive with the right hand, up and no. So Lorenzo Anderson will go to the free throw line, listed at 6'4", and the senior. Also into the contest for Miller Grove. Oh, man, we've got a problem with the scoreboard. Did somebody unplug something? I know that happened early today.
Little technical difficulties going on. Ah, there we go. Everything lit back up.
2:34 to go. It's 10-9.
But you know what I love about modern technology right now? Even though the scoreboard was unplugged and everything was off, it still maintained the time on the clock. Maintained the time on the clock and the score, so you didn't lose that once the power came back on.
Anderson free throw is good. Nice scoreboard for McEachern. List the player. You can put the player number, fouls, and points up there, but that would be a job today. Eskridge gets the rebound. And now here comes Stirdivant all the way. Got it, blocked. Get it out, center way. And here comes Miller Grove back this way with Anderson. Lorenzo Anderson on the right hand. Now he's going to give it off to Harvey. Harvey picked up now by Stirdivant. 2.5 to go. We're even at 10. Jim and Arena, Loving-Good Arena continuing to fill up. Swings it over. Kicks back out to the top. Game number 5. One more to go. Ball knocked away. Stirdivant going to come away with the steal. Ooh, went nifty behind the back. Stirdivant out of control, runs to the corner. White, a 3. No. Rebound ripped off. There's a steal and another steal. A little sloppy there with it. Caleb Murphy into the contest for Norcross, getting some burn. And there's Dalvin White. White picked it up. Long lead pass to Stirdivant. Caught it. Stop. Layup good.
Good finish. Good finish. Way to keep controlling it and finish at the basket.
White, he saw him earlier. He had to make sure he didn't double dribble and then get possession of the basketball. Still was able to hit him up with the hit-ahead lead pass. 95 seconds first quarter. Around the screen, Harvey drives up off the window. No. Rebound underneath, put back up and in. Did they count the hoop?
Trying to figure out if they counted the basket or not.
No, the scoreboard went out again. And did they count the hoop? Yeah, something is quirky going on with the scoreboard. It's not itself. It's something unplugged somewhere, something that knocked something out.
Brand new scoreboard, am I right?
This is second year, but you can tell it's something, it's computerized, so something is just making it glitch. You can tell it's just you got to figure out what it is. Coach McMillan, he's not pleased with that. They are not going to count the hoop, by the way. Still 12-10, Norcross with the lead. I don't believe. Now they are going to count the hoop. So the hoop will count. And that evens it at 12. And I think Coach Mack is upset because, of course, that stopped their break or come back the other way.
Early season problems. Early season problems. I think I said that probably about 50 times. I said that about 50 times today already.
Inbound now to Stirdivant as we resume action. Stirdivant goes behind the back. The Eskridge between the rings. There's Stirdivant. Stirdivant put it on the floor, drives below the foul line, kicks to the corner. Eskridge back to Stirdivant. Stirdivant power dribble, went up on Page, didn't get it to go. Save, no, out of bounds off of Miller Grove.
Both teams are trying to attack the basket, though. If you notice, Stirdivant, you notice on the other end, Shamik and also Harvey.
Attack the basket. It's always quicker and easier to score 2 feet away from the basket than it is 20.
Even ball game, 12-12, 74 seconds. Glad that you're with us. Georgia's Elite 8 Tip-Off Classic right here on SUV TV, the SUVTV.com. I'm Joel Hilsman, joined by Sylvester Williams and Barry Browner. One more to go. Johnson is back in. Here's Topping. Topping gonna cross him up. Step back. The three. JoJo Topping. A 3-ball.
That's what the summer will do for you, Sly.
Oh, and he comes right back at him.
Harvey, no good. Crowd really ready for a show.
After JoJo nailed that 3, he kind of looked at Harvey and said, hey. He smiled at him. Then Harvey came right back at him.
Yeah, he kind of cooked him a little bit. And that's something that has been added to JoJo's game, man. That was a nice step-back 3-ball.
Like I say, I'm really impressed with what he did this summer. You know, judging by him last year Topping was a guy off the bench, one of those energy guys coming off the bench, just helping out the team however he could. Now, you know, it looks like he's primed to take over as the man on this team.
15-13. And Maurice Harvey instructed to tuck his shirt back in, his jersey back in, so he does that. Now here comes the next free throw. It is good. He made them both. He has 4 points. And now we've got an inadvertent horn. We've had that happen a couple of times today.
Yeah, they brought him in, brought a substitution in after the second free throw.
15-14. Here's Alonzo Johnson back in and crossing the timeline. Johnson. And they'll run it, swing it down, and there's Eskridge. Eskridge goes around the screen, stop. There's a long 3-ball, Malachi Martin, no good. Rebound on the floor. Anderson lost it, stolen. Eskridge dives on the floor. They pick it up. They're trying to get the hit-ahead pass and a traveling violation. And Rasul Chester, the head coach, upset.
Anderson took a couple of steps on that one off of that spin move. And it's funny, you had a man down court. It's like one of those things, if you have eyes in the back of your head, you just toss that thing up backwards. Easy 2 points for his teammate.
Final 30 seconds of the first quarter. 15-14, Norcross with the lead. They're in the deep stone gray with the navy numbers and white trim. Miller Grove all in purple, purple tops, purple bottoms, and straight white numbers. Martin hands it off, and there's Caleb Murphy. Murphy gonna step through, cross the pass to Boston. Brandon Boston gonna drive, put it up, no. Tip by Murphy, no good. Anderson comes away with it. Anderson a half-court heave, no. After a quarter, Norcross leads Miller Grove 15-14. The SUVTV.com coverage of the Georgia Elite 8 Tip-Off Classic right here.
I got a high ankle sprain going for a rebound.
Injuries are part of playing.
I got hit catching a pass and broke my collarbone.
So it's good to know that the sports medicine doctors, therapists, and athletic trainers at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta are experts at treating young athletes. If your child suffers any kind of sports-related injury,
I got hit and dislocated my shoulder.
bring him to Children's Healthcare of Atlanta.
Welcome back inside Loving Good Arena on the campus of McEachern High School. Joe Hilsman, Sylvester Williams, glad that you're with us. Barry Browner, I didn't forget you. Glad to have you with us. Second quarter action getting ready to start. And Barry, quick thoughts on what you saw in that first quarter.
I kind of like the pace from both teams. It's kind of been sloppy a little bit, but I like the guard play from Norcross, and I'm really impressed with Harvey so far from Miller Grove.
Maurice Harvey with 4 points there in that first quarter. 15-14, 8 minutes on the clock as we get ready to start this second quarter. It'll be Brandon Boston inbounding it. Stirdivant, Johnson, Eskridge, and White, the 5 on the floor for the Norcross Blue Devils. Here's Kevon Eskridge. Spins it to Boston in the corner. Johnson, a 3. It's good. Alonzo Johnson, his first field goal. A 3-ball.
Norcross definitely got a bunch of guys that can shoot the ball from the outside. Lonzo Johnson just showed you he was one of them.
Spins it. And here's Samik. Samik now bounces it to Jamon Clark. Clark, Harvey. Page, the 5 on the floor. Shot is up, no good. And the foul called on the floor. Jamar Clark still upset, but he got the call. 18-14, 7:21, early moments here, second quarter.
I think they call that foul on Johnson. He was doing a little bit too much. He's boxing his man out and had a really good box out, but he just pushed a little bit too hard and kept going, and then they call the foul on him.
Another foul called underneath on Clark. He drew the foul. Substitutions now, and Johnson is going to go out, and I'm not sure what happened. He was a little upset, and Coach Jesse Mack still gave him the slap 5s as he walked to the bench, but Coach Mack obviously sees something, and he's taking Johnson out. He started the ball game, and now let's see. It's going to be the 1-and-1 situation.
You know, the most interesting situation in this whole game is what's going on the Norcross bench. There's only one open seat on the bench. And so all the players are sitting as close to coach as they can. And then as soon as one of them comes out, all of them are telling them, scoot down, scoot down. That's the most interesting fight going on in the game. Who gets to sit close to coach?
18-14. The one open seat, of course, the head coach Jesse McMillan's seat. There's a drive, there's a jump. Harvey, no good. Rebound, up and in, Kevin Page. His first field goal. Kevin Page, 6'7", and a senior. Here's Eskridge. Eskridge stops, pulls, a 3-ball. No. Rebound, Page. As it caromed off the rim, and he got the board up ahead to Anderson. Anderson to Someek. Someek now takes it, puts it on the floor. They picked up the dribble, now gives it to Page. Page got it knocked away, recovered by Someek. Back to Page. Page, a power dribble up, and no good. That's one right there, though, Barry. I don't want to see that power dribble. Just go ahead on up to the hoop.
You got to go ahead and finish that, man. Kevin Page, a good big man from Miller Grove. He and Jamar Clark together. Just finish that. That's all you got to do. No dribble, finish that strong.
Exactly. You got 2 steps. Go ahead and use those 2 steps and elevate.
Free throw rolls in good for Page.
Big man had to shoot his roll on that one.
Page to get one more. No good. Rebound offensively by Someek. Kicks it back to Harvey. Harvey hesitates, spins out of control off the window. No. Boston gets the rebound up to Stirdivant. Stirdivant up ahead. Here comes Caleb. Caleb going to stop all the way. Shot up. Count it. And the foul.
And one. Good finish. Good finish by Caleb on that.
Caleb Murphy off the bench and into the scorebook. 6'2", and a sophomore.
You know, a lot of days nowadays, these guys, everybody is putting the year that the kid graduates instead of the sophomore, freshman, junior. Everybody's putting the year.
Free throw, good.
Makes me think too hard. I don't want to think too hard.
The graduating class, and a lot of it has to do with ranking players and ranking classes. And then, of course, now you can reclassify, and you know how it goes.
It's getting too complicated in basketball.
Yeah, I know. I can understand that from your football standpoint. I really can. 21-17.
We don't see that in football. There's no junior who wants to skip up and say, I'm a senior.
Shot is up. Off the window. Wow, Lorenzo Anderson. They called it on the floor. So Miller Grove trying to get the charges called. That one will be called on Jamar Clark. But they've been hit with the blocking fouls anyway. Kyle Stirdivant to the free throw line.
Lorenzo Clark is also been a 4-year guy at Miller Grove, man. Just really went through it and just been a steady contributor for Miller Grove in his 4 years too. He continues to do it so far in this game as we see.
Kick it back. Here's Brandon Boston. Boston now to Caleb Murphy. Murphy to Stirdivant. They made him go side out of baseline. Take the ball out, so there was no free throw. 5:36 to go.
Miller Grove with that winning tradition. He's a 4-year guy, so that means he has one championship for Miller Grove. Miller Grove won 7 out of 8 or 6 out of 7?
7 out of 8.
7 out of 8. And if you didn't know, you might as well go and watch our Reclaiming the Throne SUV TV documentary on the Miller Grove championship season of 2016?
15.
2015.
And while this is Coach Chester's second year in Miller Grove, he's been a part of that winning tradition because he was the assistant coach in Miller Grove for most of those championships.
Yeah, he actually left for 1 year, took the head job at Stevenson for the middle school program, and then came back last year. And like Rasul, man, he was a man for the job. Still big shoes to fill, but the expectations of success at Miller Grove basketball are still the same.
That's a tough job to come and step in. You can make it. He made it to the Final 8 last year, and people looked at him funny.
To the Final Four.
Final Four. People looked at him strange.
Clark, traveling violation. Jermon Clark. And then listen, he lost to a very, very good Cedar Shoals team.
Exactly. He lost to a tough Cedar Shoals team. Wait a minute. Sherman wins championships.
Here's White. White to the corner to Stirdivant. A three. No, and a foul call. 3 shots coming up. Must be smarter than that. Foul by Rondell Dean. Dean, 6'3", and a junior.
I like the fact that Dalvin can find the guy in the corner. Most of the time you look at a lot of point guards, what they want to do is they want to try to attack the basket. Dalvin always making that extra pass and continues to just get his guys involved.
Drive and kick. Kyle Stirdivant free throw is good.
There's one thing about Stirdivant. I don't think he gets like that national rep that I think he deserves.
It's coming, though. He had a very good year. 3-star recruit, Nike Team Florida on the EYBL circuit. So it's coming. And you got to remember, he's just a junior now.
Just a junior. I really like his game, but I think he plays off guard. He plays 2 guard for this team, and he's a true point guard. And so I don't think he gets that national rep that he deserves, man. But he deserves to be one of those top 50 players in the nation in his class.
He's a big-time player. 25-19. Clark spins it over into the corner. Now Miller Grove operating with it. And they look. Samik has it between the rings. Over on the left now to Maurice Harvey. They're going to drive Samik. They cut it off. There's Harvey. Good defense and a closeout. Harvey had the double clutch. A shot in the air. No good. Murphy gets the rebound. Outlets it down. Here's Dalvin White. White in transition. Wow. Going to go all the way. He lost it. Tried to get the charge again. White is hurt. Dalvin White is hurt. Shoulder. Right shoulder for Dalvin White down here. He's not even back on defense. A long 3. Hill of the rim. Tip. Fight for it. Boston gets the rebound. The foul. Dalvin White's shoulder.
Is out of place.
Yeah, yes.
It's out of socket.
Yeah.
He's going to have to go and hit that up against the wall and knock it back in place. But this is what I don't understand about Georgia high school basketball. In the earlier games today, on 3 different occasions, we had the referee stop the game, stop fast breaks for a guy to tie his shoe. Now you got a guy whose shoulder's out his socket, and they don't stop the game because it's sold out of socket.
Well, you have to remember, in that game, that wasn't a GHSA game.
They did it in 3 different games.
That was GISA game earlier today. So you got to remember that little stuff like that.
Okay, there you go.
And then in the other game you're talking about, that's a Hamilton Heights independent.
That's an independent school. Okay.
So
it's a whole nother set of rules.
Yes, sir. Clark to the top. Now going to put it on the floor. Drive up. No. On the inline and out of bounds. 25-19. 3:51.
Yeah, they're going to have to pop that shoulder back in place. That's what it looked like. I think they just did it right there.
Yeah, it hurt.
It hurt.
Brandon Boston, string music, a 3-ball from the corner.
That's one of those things you don't like to see when it happens. But as soon as he pops it back in, he'll be ready to play it. He can play for the rest of the game. But it is so funky looking.
They're doing range of motion stuff behind the bench. I've never had a shoulder come out. I done had a couple digits dislocated and that type of thing. You just pop that thing in. But the problem is when it come out one time, right, it makes it easier to come out over and over.
You got to keep trying to pop it back into place, boy. And that's tough.
That's tough.
I'm telling you, it is.
Remember the old Lethal Weapon movies? Mel Gibson used to just throw his shoulder into the wall and pop it back into place. Yeah.
And the thing about it is you always think about it. You don't really think about it, but then I'm instantly thinking about Austin Rivers.
Oh.
And Austin Rivers, he can't even look at his hand while they popping it back in play.
Exactly.
Because you can't, it's like you know it's not broke, but it's like, oh, that's not the way it's supposed to be.
Something ain't right.
Yeah. 28-19. A nice crowd continuing to fill in here at Loving Good Arena. We're going to have this place lit fire and really lit here in another 20 minutes. There's a drive. Stirdivant. Nice move. Could not finish. Nice, strong move and glide to the hoop there, Barry.
See, that's a nice move by Kyle Stirdivant. I like Kyle Sturdivan's body, man. A big, physical, tough guard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And that's what makes him a tough guard. Downhill, he's going to be a tough guy to guard, period, for anybody.
Free throw up and in. I can just see now the maturity, even from his sophomore to now his junior year here in just their first regular season game. He's looking to be the guy. He wants to lead, even though he's got that veteran in Dalvin White over there with him. Here's Anderson.
Up 11, Norcross up 11, and I'm thinking that Miller Grove's got to get a bucket right here to get a little confidence, to get themselves back going.
You know, Barry, it's something, this game is eerily reminding me of their last game last year in the semifinal loss to Cedar Shoals, where they just could not get going and find any offensive flow. I'm beginning to see that now. You think Anderson, there's his jumper, it is good, would get going. There it is on cue. And then I think Page would step up, although Page not on the floor right now. And Clark. Those are the guys I think need to step up. Boston, a three ball. He should have had the and one. Brandon Boston.
Big time shot by Brandon Boston. That's a big time player too.
Oh yeah. And you talk about Summers. We're talking about we saw JoJo Toppin. Brandon Boston had a breakout summer this summer.
Yeah, Boston is very tough. Paid his dues on that bench from time to time. But now will be a main key contributor. There's a three ball knocked in. Maurice Harvey.
I would have thought that because Issa Muhammad's not playing for Norcross tonight, I would have thought that Miller Grove would have tried to pound inside the paint. But they haven't really went inside that much, though. I watched a lot of pick and roll and pop, and also guys just flashed into the free throw line.
33-24, 2:04 to go. You can tell, though, Barry and Sly, and I'm going to tell you, I like it. We're only, 10 minutes into the Norcross season, or a little more than that, I'm sorry. About 14 minutes into it, but you can tell they're going to be deep. And they are going to be a vital, vital threat in 7A. I see it just this early, and this is the new look edition. Boston free throw, no good.
I think tonight, though, guys, I think that we're going to see probably three of the top three teams in 7A basketball right now. And was impressed also by the Meadow Creek as well.
Mm-hmm.
Norcross and Meadow Creek later on in the season in the region is going to be a tough matchup.
And
so
see,
that should be a good game.
Looking for, you know how we all like to look forward and skip forward all the way to January. When I look at these two teams, I look at the guard play from Norcross, and I really like the guard play from Norcross. But the inside play, I think Meadow Creek can body up Norcross a little bit. Those guys seem to be a little bit more thicker on that side of Gwinnett County with Meadow Creek.
Harvey on the left wing. Anderson pump fake, put it on the floor. Jumper is good, banked it in. I think Lorenzo Anderson wants to get it going for Miller Grove. 100 seconds left in the half. Game 5 of 6. Jim beginning to fill on up. Barry alluded to the top teams in 7A. McEachern and Wheeler are next on the nightcap. If you're watching, come on. You might not be able to get in here in a little while. You might want to come on, head on down to McEachern right now. Macklin Road, you know where it is. Catch fire. Oh, man, he was going to get it sent away. Pull that back. Here's Harvey now. Harvey to Anderson. There's a three. Anderson, no good. Rebound to Stirdivant. Stirdivant pushing that. Got numbers 3 on 2. Stirdivant all the way. Left hand on the left side. Good.
Beautiful.
Good take by Kyle Stirdivant.
Stirdivant has really turned it on here. 36-26. It is a 10-point Norcross lead. 14 points so far in this first half from Kyle Stirdivant. We welcome you inside of Loving Good Arena on the campus of McEachern High School. Joe Hilsman, Sylvester Williams, and Barry Browner. Glad that you are with us. It is Miller Grove, it is Norcross, Georgia's Elite Eight tip-off classic. We're underway. Norcross in the gray. Kyle Stirdivant gets it started. A three ball is good. Alonzo Johnson, Kyle Stirdivant, Joseph Toppin, Brandon Boston, and Dalvin White, the starting five for the Norcross Blue Devils. Timothy Stargell, Maurice Harvey, Jermon Clark, Kevin Page, and Lorenzo Anderson, the starting five for the Miller Grove Wolverines in purple. Driving, Clark, shot no, rebound, tip, and out of bounds. Sylvester, Barry, I guess this is one of the headlining matchups. Of course, Miller Grove known for their state championships, although they lost in the semifinals last year in 5A to Cedar Shoals, the eventual 5A runner-up. And this Norcross team, the 7A runner-up. We welcome you inside of Loving Good Arena on the campus of McEachern High School. Joe Hilsman, Sylvester Williams, and Barry Browner. Glad that you are with us. It is Miller Grove, it is Norcross, Georgia's Elite Eight tip-off classic. We're underway. Norcross in the gray. Kyle Stirdivant gets it started. A three ball is good. Alonzo Johnson, Kyle Stirdivant, Joseph Toppin, Brandon Boston, and Dalvin White, the starting five for the Norcross Blue Devils. Timothy Stargell, Maurice Harvey, Jermon Clark, Kevin Page, and Lorenzo Anderson, the starting five for the Miller Grove Wolverines in purple. Driving, Clark, shot no, rebound, tip, and out of bounds. Sylvester, Barry, I guess this is one of the headlining matchups. Of course, Miller Grove known for their state championships, although they lost in the semifinals last year in 5A to Cedar Shoals, the eventual 5A runner-up. And this Norcross team, the 7A runner-up.
No doubt about it. I think that Norcross is in for a big year, and also Miller Grove. Miller Grove's got a couple of big guys returning, and they add Timothy Stargell at the point guard.
Stargell coming over from Shiloh. He missed that shot there across the lane, and here come the Blue Devils back this way. There's Brandon Boston. Boston lost it, and now here comes Miller Grove with Page. Over to Stargell. There's a long three. It is good.
Lorenzo Anderson knocks down that three from long range out there. Boston, he's a kid I've been hearing about all summer. I'm really anxious to see him play.
Boston can play. He looks different from when I've seen him last. He has grown the hairstyle out just a little bit. Former Holy Spirit prep. That's where he started cutting his teeth at.
I think one of the guys you want to watch is also Joseph Toppin, too. He also had a big-time summer. Kind of being recruited by a lot of big-time schools. So watch him for this game as well.
Stirdivant at the line. Yeah, JoJo Toppin. Very, very dynamic ball player.
Stirdivant, that name sounds familiar for some of those people out there. Stirdivant.
Who makes the first free throw. He has 4 quick points.
Stirdivant, as a sophomore last year, was a big-time contributor on that Norcross runner-up team.
Free throw, no good. Out of bounds off of Miller Grove. Joseph Toppin will get it. There's an inbound. Dalvin White in a corner, a three. No, tip, Boston good. Brandon Boston offensive glass. So a 6-3 advantage right now for Miller Grove. A jumper off by Anderson. Tip, fight for the rebound. Dalvin White came away. Out of bounds. Dalvin White, 4-year player now, a senior for this Norcross bunch. And just a very savvy guard.
You know, it's funny you say 4-year player because it seems like I've been calling his name forever. Like he's been around forever for this Norcross team.
I mean, I was. We welcome you back inside Loving Good Arena on the campus of McEachern High School. Glad that you're with us. The SUVTV.com's coverage of the Georgia Elite 8 Tip-Off Classic. CBA Sports is a sports construction firm specializing in performance athletic, servicing sports floor systems and sport components for both indoor and outdoor sports flooring projects. Visit CBAsports.com for more information. Second half, what do you think we need to see, Barry? Barry Browner, Sly Williams, I'm Joel Hillsman. From Miller Grove, trailing by 10, 38-28.
I definitely think Miller Grove needs to put a little pressure on the guards and stop Stirdivant right now.
JoJo Toppin gonna drive, kick to White. White did confirm he's all right with the shoulder. There's a 3-ball by Brandon Boston.
That's Brandon Boston's third 3 so far tonight. He's been on fire. He's hit 2 from the corner and hit 1 from the wing.
13 in the contest for Boston, 41-28. Timothy Stargell back out and starting this third quarter along with Maurice Harvey, Lorenzo Anderson, Kevin Page, and Jermon Clark, the 5 on the floor for the Wolverines of Miller Grove.
You know who Brandon Boston reminds me of? I remember a couple of years ago I saw this real skinny kid in North Carolina, really skinny kid in North Carolina by the name of Brandon Ingram. I remember watching him play. He was like, Brandon Ingram was probably about 6'8", 103 pounds, soaking wet, and that's exactly who Brandon Boston reminds me of. And I think Brandon Ingram's doing pretty good for himself right now.
Yeah, turning it on, man. Turning it on in a good situation. That team could be very, very good for a long time in a few years if they keep growing and developing.
Mm-hmm.
Here's Anderson. Anderson now kicks it to the top to Stargell. Stargell going to hesitate, back to Anderson. Looking at a zone defense now from the Norcross Blue Devils.
Yeah, Norcross is running the 3-2, having the big guy up top, so he's disrupting a lot of the passing lanes in the guys who are trying to take shots from the top of the key.
I like the 3-2 zone defense, and it forced a turnover there. Dalvin White did say he was all right with his shoulder at halftime. So, as you can tell, he's back into the contest. So here's White. White going to bring it into the full court between the legs. Boston catch, fire a 3. Good! Give me the hot sauce. Give me the hot sauce, Brandon Boston.
Again, another 3 for Brandon Boston, man. He's turning it up, man. That's 16 for Brandon Boston.
44-28. Stargell, head of the key, 3, hill of the rim, no. Rebound gonna come down, Stirdivant gonna push it. Here comes Stirdivant. Stirdivant driving, Euro step, put it up in a blocking foul call. And you know what? Stirdivant, had he looked up, Boston was jumping jacks in the corner.
Hey, that's how you know when a kid knows he's hot. He doesn't even go to the hole on the fast break. He goes on the wing and stands in the corner. He knows he's ready for it. He knows he's hot, but he goes and stands in that corner and waits on it.
Flare to the corner. That's what you do, flare to the corner. So Stirdivant now go to the free throw line as they get the wet spot wiped up.
My goodness, he's a shooter. But, you know, that's one of the good things, though. I have a love-hate relationship with summer ball and AAU ball. I really do. I love the great things about it. You have a kid like Boston who kind of steps up and blows out and blows onto the scene during the summer. And, you know, last year I didn't know who Brandon Boston was. I couldn't tell you who he was. But now he goes through the summer and he just blows up. And that's one of the things I love about the summer circuit. Now, I got about a million things I don't like about it.
Right. I mean, the summer circuit, it has its goods and it also has its bads. So, I mean, it'll be around for a while.
Yeah, it's not going anywhere.
It ain't going nowhere.
The lead has ballooned up to 17. Clark underneath got away with a twalk. No, he didn't. A 7-0 start to this third quarter from Norcross has ballooned the lead quickly within 2 minutes up to 17, 45-28.
Usually you can determine how a game's going to go. As a coach, you always know that the first 3.5 minutes of the second half will determine what's going on and how your team comes out. Being down 10 and now allowing Brandon Boston to hit a couple of threes, Stirdivant makes a couple of shots, and there he goes again.
Floating it home, Kyle Stirdivant. I mean, they have just rocketed out. 2.5 minutes, 19-point lead. 9-0 run to start it. I just don't see that confidence from Miller Grove Yet I talked about someone needing to score, and Anderson was giving them some form of firepower there. He is their leading scorer with 12 points, but another turnover. Boston to Stirdivant. Stirdivant behind the back, hesitate, tried to put him on ice. There's Johnson, a three. Alonzo badly missed, no good. Rebound comes out, and here comes Miller Grove running. They need to break this run. All the way, Harvey to the hoop, blew a layup. Clark, rebound up and in, counted in the foul.
And they really needed that bucket because somebody's got to step up. Anytime, as your coach, anytime you think about you need a bucket from somebody, you need to find somebody on your team that can get you that bucket, and they've got to find somebody. I don't know if it's going to be Harvey or Anderson or maybe Clark with that.
But, when you're Harvey and when you go to the lane like that, I have a term I like to say, you got to turn the wrist over. You go and you lay it up. You're all the way. You're over the rim. You got your head and your hand, your neck over the rim. Go ahead and turn your wrist over and throw it down. Not only does the dunk make me feel good, it might make your team feel good. It makes your crowd feel good. You got to go ahead and turn that wrist over.
Free throw, no good by Clark. Whistle, and the foul called on Kevon Eskridge. And Barry, you talked about the addition of Eskridge. I really like it. And now I'm seeing Norcross right now 9 deep solid.
Yes.
Definitely, no doubt. 9 deep solid. And like I said, they're also missing big man Issa Muhammad, who transferred from Lakeside.
You're right. Yep.
Who's also who's gonna end up being a mid to high major player.
Keep forgetting about Muhammad. Yeah, and he was at Lakeside, actually living in the Lakeside district, so I got to see him a couple times on Tuesday nights during the region. There's a long three. Bang! Dalvin White. They are stroking the three ball. Norcross as a team. Rasul Chester has absolutely seen enough. Timeout, 47-33. Norcross with the lead. A commanding, booming. You mentioned 3.5 minutes. We're right there at that 3.5 minute mark. A high is going to go 16-point, now 17-point lead.
Right, I'm sure Coach Chester called a timeout, kind of settled this guy down and figure out what type of adjustments we need to make on defense. Right now, like I said, everybody's hitting threes so far. When they're not hitting threes, and you got guys going to the basket and not getting touched.
Stirdivant with 17, Brandon Boston with 16. They are the only players in double figures for Norcross, but man, they have it going. And then on the flip side, currently right now, Lorenzo Anderson with 14 points. With 12 points. He is the high man for Miller Grove. And Timothy Stargell was slide talked about coming over from Shiloh. I just thought I would see a little bit more from him. I'm missing that offensive punch from Miller Grove, Barry.
Yeah.
Right,
yeah.
No doubt about it. Like I said, they don't have a guy. You need a go-to guy. And I'm not sure who's the go-to guy right now.
Right now. It is early, but still, yes, right now. Kevin Page holds it. Skip pass across. Now here's a pass to Stargell. Stargell on the wing. Could not get the three to go. Brandon Boston on the glass. Up to Stirdivant. Here comes Stirdivant. Stirdivant going to turn on the gas. Not there. Spins in the lane. Put it up with the right hand. No. Follow out of bounds on the tip. It will stay with Norcross.
One thing I noticed, though, even though Miller Grove's got the two bigs, looks like they're being out-rebounded by Norcross. I think Brandon Boston's done a good job as far as rebounding the basketball. And
another three ball. Cash money three. I'm sorry, Barry. Go ahead. So now
I think it seems like Norcross is getting the rebounds that matter.
right.
Miller Grove on paper, Miller Grove.
Woo, walked up out of here.
They're getting the ones that matter, but Miller Grove is actually out rebounding them.
Spins it down. There goes White. White gonna flip over to the left. Here comes Murphy. Murphy to the top. Stirdivant, another three. Bang. They are on absolute fire from distance as a team. Flamethrowers. The Norcross Blue Devils. It's hotter than hell from distance. 56-33. So now Miller Grove will inbound it. Baseline underneath. It is a 23-point lead.
Yeah, this Miller Grove team needs to find itself. As a matter of fact, they had a exhibition game or a scrimmage game against Wheeler earlier this week. And
Yeah, Thursday night. There's a three. Harvey, no. White rebound, and they're on the run again. White hesitates, stop, elbow jumper on the break, heel of the rim, no. Gets the rebound and pulls it down. It's Page. Page now over to Stargell. Stargell going to push it on the break. Stargell Euro stepping all the way, flipped it up off the backboard. He did it a little too early. Page with the rebound, back up and in, good. I would actually, Barry, let me know what you think about this. I would run some more offense through Page.
Right.
Yep.
I would probably go inside out. Kind of kick it, put Page on the block, let him go to the block, and then kick it out to find Harvey or Anderson.
Here's White. White between the rings. White now hands it to Boston. Boston going to drive. Stop, foul line jump, offensive foul. Extended their arm on the push-off. It's a turnover. The McEachin faithful here. Of course, Loving Good Arena. Game 5.
You know, when you see a kid like Boston, I guess he's 14, 15 years old, maybe 16, and he's so small and he's so slight now. It makes me anxious for the future to see what happens when that kid feels out some,
Exactly.
Get him a summer job at McDonald's so he can gain some weight or something. Yeah, that's what happens.
There's a strip. It's on the floor. Here's Murphy. Murphy to White. White, reverse layup, no. Tip, no. I think he should have gave that one up. Murphy chases it down in the corner. He'll pull it back out for the Blue Devils. Murphy now to White. White spins it across. Eskridge, another three. Bang.
Bottom of the basket.
Kevon Eskridge coming over from Columbia. Anderson out of control, driving with the layup good.
I think it's a requirement if you want to go to Norcross, you got to know how to shoot the three.
You better, because if they start shooting the three like this throughout the season, they will be tough to defend. They've got to share it, though. Everybody sharing and caring because this Norcross roster is deep. Here's JoJo Toppins. JoJo on the drive. Over to Stirdivant. Stirdivant faked the pass, going to go baseline. Dumped it off to Murphy. A fine dime. He was fouled. A beautiful look from Kyle Stirdivant.
Because you look at these shooters. You got White. He's the senior shooter. You got Boston. He'll knock it down. Who else? Toppin has improved his outside game tremendously. Toppin will knock it down. And then you got Eskridge over there. He can shoot.
I think the key thing is you look at that last play. Look at how those guys kind of made that extra pass, just sharing that basketball with each other. And that's big time right there, especially for a team like Norcross. Like you guys said, they're 10 deep.
Mm-hmm.
Here is Murphy at the free throw line. Murphy, good.
But they have all these outside players. But sometimes you need that inside. You need that big boy. You need somebody who's going to do that dirty work for you on the inside.
There's an alley to Page, and he scores. And I think that's what the point that Barry wanted to make sure to remind us that Issa Muhammad, 6'8", is not here tonight.
True.
So that could be the remedy there, in that aspect. But remember, even last year when they were big with Hammonds and Thomas, they were able to spread out the defense because they could stretch it.
Right.
So it wasn't really a pound-heavy game. Good move by Caleb Murphy.
But to me, Hammond and Thomas, they were big, but they're not big. You see what I'm saying?
They were, I always call them stretch guys.
Yeah.
They were stretch fours, athletic, big guys that would stand outside and shoot the basketball.
But, it's not like you could see those guys inside. They couldn't play inside, and I think that's one thing with Tift County. Tift County is just tough. And
Right.
sometimes you need that tough. And like you look at the Wheeler team from last year.
Right.
The Wheeler team from last year, on paper, may have been the best team in the nation on paper. But they didn't have what I like to call any dogs on that team. They didn't have anybody. I want somebody who will go out there and grab a rebound and throw an elbow.
Right.
I need that guy. I need that guy who knows he isn't going to block the shot, but he's going to go up there hard and swinging his arm when somebody comes to the lane. They didn't have any of those guys.
Right, exactly. And I think last year when we look at Tift County, you look at what they wore to the championship game. That's got to be one of my favorite outfits of all time. They were workmen, so they came to work, and that's what they did night in and night out, and that's why they won the championship.
And we talked about that in that game, and that was one of my favorite ones too. But then it also, not only is it that we come into work, but it was a reflection of that community. The
Exactly.
blue-collar community, there's a dunk by Harvey. And the thing is, you know, y'all don't talk. And another steal, 2 bad passes in a row. And that has Jesse McMillan upset. I have not seen a third one. And they didn't score. And Jesse Mack, I'm watching him. Yeah, he's not going to have none of this. Timeout, 41 and 5, 10 seconds. 3 straight turnovers in the backcourt. But to go back to finish that point on Tiff, that was a reflection of their community. Y'all not talking about us. We not ranked high. You ain't did nothing, so we going to come and do what we've been doing. They're coming to work. And that's exactly what they did.
I'll tell you guys this. I went to the game when they played Newton County.
Oh.
And I probably one of the best games I've been to. But the thing was, the people from Tiff were at the gym at 3:30.
Yes, sir.
I mean, the kids they had barely got out of school, and the people from Tiff were already at the gym.
And see, that's what we were talking about as far as, and that was before Barry joined us, joined by Barry Browner. He's Sly Williams. I'm Joe Hilton. We were talking about Tiff's region being a football region, but you can tell Tiff is bringing the barrel up for even basketball. Camden's getting improved. Colquitt really now trying to step up a little bit in basketball.
Right. If you look at, I did a couple of previews on some teams on Georgia Hoop Circle, and one of the teams I talked about was Colquitt. I think Colquitt's going to be really good this year, and might be able to make a run.
Listen, it's not going to surprise me. It's not. And everybody says that South Georgia thing, but all it takes, look, winning is contagious, man, and Georgia basketball is just too deep. Here's Murphy. Murphy now spins it across. Anderson again. Norcross all of a sudden just absolutely sloppy with the basketball. And Dalvin White walks to the scorer's table.
And you said you did some of your analysts on Georgia Hoop Circle. You can follow Barry at GA Hoop Circle on Twitter. Follow him, check him out, see all this good stuff he has to print out on Twitter. That's GA Hoop Circle. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Yeah, it is a hoop circle, too, I tell you that. Glad to have Barry here with us. Me and Barry chit-chat on Twitter all the time, so it's always glad to in one place. Basketball is so unifying.
Exactly.
And you know, it's amazing with Twitter now. You know, I got people I talk to about basketball all over the state and all over the Southeast. I don't even know who they are. I got no idea. This is my first time meeting Barry, and I feel like, hell, I've been following him for 10 years now. You know, I know everything he already talked about, and I never met the man before.
Man, basketball is a big, small town, man. I'm telling you.
Oh, Sylvester Williams, boy.
I'm telling you, that Twitter's something else.
Rebound by Eskridge. Anderson split the free throws. He gives it to White. White now working. Up ahead, there's Eskridge. Eskridge put it on the floor, now spins it to the side. There's Boston. Boston got fired. Went baseline, put it up and in. Brandon Boston. He got bumped going baseline, played through it, and got the hoop to end the third quarter. What a quarter from Norcross, blowing the doors off of it. 64-45. The fourth quarter coming up next right here. Georgia's Elite 8 Tip-Off Classic. The SUVTV.com.
I got a high ankle sprain going for a rebound.
Injuries are part of playing.
I got hit catching a pass and broke my collarbone.
So it's good to know that the sports medicine doctors, therapists, and athletic trainers at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta are experts at treating young athletes. If your child suffers any kind of sports-related injury,
I got hit and dislocated my shoulder.
bring him to Children's Healthcare of Atlanta.
Loving Good Arena as we begin the fourth quarter, 64-45. Norcross with the lead on Miller Grove. Joe Hilsman, Sylvester Williams. And Barry Browner here with you from the Georgia's Elite 8 Tip-Off Classic. "12 teams participating in this event. Second year. In the corner, there's a 3. It is off, no good. Rebound put back up and in by Kevin Page.
Kevin Page is starting to really turn it on a little bit. Like you said, I don't know what was going on at the beginning, but they definitely should have been trying to run the offense through Page. A couple of putbacks and a couple of buckets on the inside.
I really would. I like him. And the thing is, there's a drive by Stirdivant. I don't want to reference the last year's game again against Cedar Shoals, but this is very similar. Page got in little spots, 2-3 buckets in a row and went away.
Right.
And come back 2-3 buckets in a row and went away. So I think him and Clark could be a little bit more effective. Coach Chester will find a way.
Right.
He'll define it, but it's almost like what Sly and I were saying about Tiff. Tiff struggled offensively.
Mm-hmm. Right. And I think part of Tiff's struggle is they're also missing Rashad Bateman, who plays football at Tiff, who committed to Minnesota in football. So waiting on those football guys to come back. Yeah. Miller Grove, on the other hand, Miller Grove's region is going to be pretty tough this year. They got Columbia, Lithonia, and Southwest DeKalb. In the Arabia Mountain as well. So Miller Grove, Coach Chester, I'm pretty sure he's going to find a way to kind of get these guys going as the season goes. So.
And Chamblee as well.
And Chamblee as well.
I have to say that is a very strong region that they are in, and I really like Lithonia and what they do and the playoff run they made last year.
No doubt. I thought that Coach Corker from Lithonia has done a tremendous job there for the past couple of years.
He surely has. Here's Stirdivant now into the forecourt. 19-point lead for Norcross. I mean, he had them. I mean, listen, they lost to Cedar Shoals, too, in the quarterfinals. So, I mean, for that team to get on the run that they got on in that playoff, Anderson on the break layup good, it was very impressive. And as you mentioned, Coach Corker has done a fabulous job there. And, of course, we know Kevon Esker is coming over from Columbia, but when Dr. Field is on the sideline, you know they're going to compete.
Oh, no doubt about it. Definitely, I'm hearing a lot of good things about Columbia. I can't wait to see them later in the year at Hoops Giving.
That Hoops Giving is so loaded.
You know, that word has been used so many times with Hoops Giving, but there is no other adjective to describe the Hoops Giving field. This field here has been awesome today. We've seen some good ball. Tip out of bounds, 68-51. And this last game, I'm telling you, is going to be some spirit. It might rock the foundation of Love and Good Arena.
No doubt about it. I think both teams, like I said, they're going to be in the hunt. This is a good early season matchup for both squads. Both teams will be in the hunt for the state championship, along with Norcross, along with Meadow Creek, along with Grayson, Shiloh, Newton, and Collins Hill.
Baseline, yeah.
This could very well possibly be that matchup. The matchup we're about to see next could very well possibly be a Final Four matchup in the state playoffs, or a Final 8 matchup at least.
No doubt about it. I think you're going to see a lot of Division I guys in this next game
Oh,
as well.
yo.
Yeah, I think you are. Anderson going to drive and not score. Yeah, this game here is loaded, and what the McCutcheon community is doing, getting behind the boys basketball program, and the girls have held it down. They've set the bar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
They set the bar. Now here come the boys.
And Coach Thompson, I mean, you look at the run he had last year, and then you look at this year, adding Jared Jones, and bringing back the guys that he had from last year as well, too, man. I mean, they've got a really good team, and like I said, they're number one. Not only number one in the state, but I got to think they're probably one of the top teams in the country. No doubt about it.
They are. They are one of the top teams in the country. There is no doubt about it. Top 5 easily right now. And a lot of that is we talk about, and I'll use the analogy that you used, Sly, when you talked about on paper how Wheeler was good. Yes, but they didn't have the chemistry built in yet.
Yes.
And we know in basketball you need some form of chemistry. And I've been knowing Coach Thompson a long time. And listen, he's had some struggling years. Okay, he has had some struggling years. Now he's got pieces in place, and it makes it a whole lot easier for you when you struggle.
I tell you what, SUV in Hoop Circle, my partner Mario Mays came over and interviewed the guy from McKeachern, and the one thing he came and he called me, he said, man, let me tell you, them kids play for one another, and he said they play together, and he said, they got something special. So, like I said, I can't wait to see McKeachern, man, and adding Jared Jones is huge.
That is huge.
Yeah, that's big. I mean, to already go with Akinbola and and you want to talk about, now we talk about Norcross being 9-10 deep. That is a deep team, McKeachern. That is a deep team.
Because a lot of times, you in high school, you get 1 6'9" guy on the team and he gets in foul trouble, then your whole game plan changes. But if Akinbola gets in foul trouble, Jared Jones is just as good or probably better.
Yeah.
So how you're not really hurt when you got two towers down there. And we saw Jared Jones a little bit earlier. He came up. This must have been around 12 o'clock before the tournament started, and it looked like Jared's put on some weight too. He looked like he's got bigger. So I'm like, wow, that's going to be scary.
Boston to White. 2 minutes gone by here. 17-point Norcross lead. They've been in control virtually the whole way. And in Boston, he was the reason why they blew it wide open. Missed the three right there. Stargell. Miller Grove, though, playing scrappy. Stargell driving, left the layup short. JoJo topping out to Boston. Boston on the break. Boston don't take it back. Layup good.
Nice finish. Way to change hands in midair and finish on at the basket.
Anderson of the jumper, no good. Rebound. Clark, power dribble. Didn't have to do that. Page back up. No, again. That's twice we've seen a Miller Grove big man get the board and use that extra dribble when they didn't have to.
Yeah, totally unnecessary. When you're the big man and you have it down that low, why take that power dribble? You're already that low. All you have to do is just drop step and put it back up. Keep that ball high.
You took the word right out of the drop step and finish.
Page free throw is good.
You know what? I wonder, you remember back in the day they used to do the Pete Newell big man camp?
Right.
I guess they don't do that anymore. They don't do it because when's the last time you've seen a 7-footer who plays with his back to the basket and plays like a 7-footer?
But that's all because of the NBA, though. You got to think because, I mean, you look at your 7-footers, your 6'9", you look at Kevin Durant and guys like that. I mean, they're not playing back to the basket. They're playing on the wing.
Yep.
Dirk Nowitzki, Kevin Durant.
One of my favorite quotes of all time, John Calipari, he was coaching at UMass at the time. And when he was recruiting Marcus Camby said, Coach, I want to play guard. And Calipari said, sure, you can play guard, but I post up all my guards.
And it's also, I think what it is, it's an evolution of the game. But I'm a believer that the back to the basket big man will come back.
He will.
Okay? And here's why I say that. All it takes is one that somebody can't guard, and that's what's going to change it.
Right.
I even look at Green Forest and Ike Abiago.
Oh, yeah.
He's not – if he steps out and hits a front foul line jumper, you like, wow, okay.
Right.
Because defensively he's going to protect the rim. If he starts hitting a little jump hook, little defense, something of that nature, it's going to come back. I don't think it's extinct, but I think it's just going to come back. And now we work on shooting so much because you want to be able to free up the lane, especially if you got a good driver who can drive and kick. Or you talked about John Calipari, what he did with Derrick Rose, them 4 out, 1 in.
Right.
The dribble
drive
offense.
Definitely, I think if we can find some bigs that can do that, I mean, that's definitely one of the lost arts in basketball.
I think I'm going to go to Nigeria and pick up a 7-footer.
That's where you're going to have to go, man. That's where they're at. And that's where Elijah one came from.
Teach him how to play with his back to the basket.
And then, the old thing they say is it's hard to get big men to want to play, and that's part of it. There's a nice drive by Kyle Stirdivant. Stirdivant has filled it up today along with Brandon Boston. Boston has been loud but quiet, but he's quickly, I got to tally up his numbers, over 20 points. There's a steal. Topping up ahead. That looked like a football pass. It wasn't there. Then he's going to get the steal, and here comes Maurice Harvey. Under 4 minutes ago, Anderson going to go up, get it out of here. Send away. JoJo Toppin. He met him at the top and sent it away.
And that's what JoJo Toppin brings, man, that athleticism. Can jump out the gym. He's like a bunny rabbit.
And it was a challenge between both of them. Anderson was going to test him, and Toppins knew he was going to test him. And, man, he went up there. Woo-woo.
And see, that's the thing. That's some of the toughness that I miss. And when I say not toughness on Toppin's part, I'm talking about toughness on the guy going to the hole. Sometimes you just got to go to the hole with that knee up and with intentions just to turn that risk over. I don't care. Sometimes you got to do it one time. You got 5 fouls, use them.
I agree with that. Kevin Page at the foul line, free throw rattled around and did not come out.
People might think I'm a dirty player listening to me talk.
No, I'm with you. I'm with the physical ball myself. You know,
And that goes back to that big man conversation. In order for it to be a dominant big man, the big man has to be a bully. You know, he has to be somebody who's tough enough to go in there and slap around a little guard, say, hey, man, you pass me the ball first. You know, you can't have one of these big men who's 7 foot and weigh 150 pounds. He's not going to demand the ball. You need that big man who's 7 foot and about 230 in high school. You need that guy.
I mean, if you think about it, though, anytime you see a guy getting recruited that's a big man that even looks like he wants to post up, they start calling him a high major because it's such a lost art.
yes,
Exactly.
Yes, I agree with that 100.
Oh, nice move.
Yeah, nice dribble drive. White left it off for Toppins. I'm glad they fouled him because had he got a clean look to the baseline, he would have boomed that thing home. 74-53, a 21-point lead by the Norcross Blue Devils. Game 5 of 6 in the Loving Good Arena, almost filled to capacity.
Yep.
Almost.
Good-looking crowd in here tonight, man. I see a lot of people. See a couple of college coaches down there checking out some guys. So
here's Stargell off the layup. It is good off the window. Maurice Harvey. There's a drive up off the window. No. Come down, and now here's Stargell. Stargell Jr. has it with 3:13 to go in a 19-point contest. Anderson to Harvey. Harvey walked up out of the gym, a traveling violation.
Yeah, he packed his bags. He had his luggage packed on that one.
3:07 to go. Joel Hilsman, Sylvester Williams, and Barry Brown are here with you. Game 5 of 6. The nightcap is coming, and you can feel it in the building. Stirdivant drive. No, off the window. Toppin good. JoJo Toppin.
You know what I like about Toppin? Toppin's just always there.
Yeah.
I don't know where there is, but he's there. Wherever you need him to be, Toppin is there.
There's Anderson in the Harvey. Harvey jumper is no good. Rebound comes down to Stirdivant.
Miller Grove's just having a tough time buying a bucket at this point. The lid is definitely on the bucket. Good finish,
Brandon
though.
Boston. Baseline dunk. B squared. There's a dump off to Clark. Clark layup good. Jermon Clark. I just got him down for 4 points, Barry. I expect a little more out of him, too. I need 10-12 a night from him.
Yeah. Oh, no doubt. I think that him and Clark have a chance to be double-double guys.
Yes.
Pounding that post like that. But the guards have got to be able to get it to him, and they got to also go down there and post up as well, too.
The McEachern student section filling in. You feel the vibe in the gym now. It is a real vibe in this gym in the season opener for the McEachern Indians. There's a nice lay by Caleb Murphy. I like this guy. I don't know much about him and where he came from. He's a sophomore. But, man, Caleb Murphy, very nice today in his minutes. He's in double figures now with 10.
No doubt. I think Caleb Murphy's playing well. But to talk about the next game, this kind of got a big fight feel. November the 11th.
Yeah.
I mean, this feels like a state playoff game already.
Yes, it does. And the last time Wheeler played a regular season game, or last time they were on the floor, it was the playoff loss in this gym to Wheeler. A 20-point loss. There's a spin. Float is up, no good. And Coach Mack reaching deep down into the bench now. Here's Murphy. Murphy spins it over. There's Ashton Malone. We're wondering when Malone was going to come on out, though. Malone, a sophomore. Played very well at a freshman. Played very well at CP3 Rising Stars count this year.
Yeah, Ashton Malone.
Timeout called by Coach Chester.
You can go and check some of those games out on SUV TV. Check the archives. Go and look at the CP3 Chris Paul Rising Stars camp. Some of the best rising freshmen, rising ninth graders in the nation. I'm talking about exciting, man. We got to see some people, man. It was hard for me to believe that these guys were 13 and 14 years old.
That was your first time doing CP3, wasn't it?
That was my first time
Okay.
at CP3.
Yeah.
That was my first time.
I can imagine. I can only imagine. Oh man, under a minute. Norcross comfortably ahead, 82-59, as we get ready to put the nightcap in action after this one. Long three, no good. Put up on a rebound, up and in, good. Justice King scores and the foul. A big fight field. I like that. It's about to be a big fight field.
And you know what? I love the student body. They're going with the white out. They're passing out the white T-shirts over there for the student body section for McEachin. And I'm trying to look at the back of the names of the shirts. I saw one of them said Big Game Reef.
Yeah, Big Game Reef. All of the players have something. I didn't want to use this word, but I'm going to use it. The marketing of the McEachin Indians boys team is outstanding. It's phenomenal. And Powder Springs is a great community, man, a wonderful community. And the gym is just continuing to fill up as we look around. You can tell we hype about it.
But you know, all of this comes into play at the end of the year. You know, when you play that Dix National Tournament, all this comes into play into getting you into that tournament. True enough, you can be good and dominate your schedule, but the world has to know who you are.
Right. Ty Harper with the three off the bench. The lefty, a sophomore. Oh, man, they done started. I think Norcross arrived on 3 buses. They just got folks deep. 85-61, Malone layup. Good, Ashton Malone.
I mean, they emptied the bench and they're still scoring.
Exactly. And the thing is, when you get in a game like this in that environment, you do want to score. That is the ball game, 87-61, Norcross. A wire-to-wire victory over Miller Grove, and they open the season 1-0. Miller Grove falls to 0-1. Quickly, I'll give it to you.